This is our last video in our application series for solving equations. Here we have the problem that says Lewis and 3 friends went golfing. 2 of the friends rented clubs for $6 each. The total cost of the rented clubs and the green fees for each person was $76. What was the cost of the green fees for each person? To find a variable, write an equation, and solve. This one's more complicated. It's based on how you read the problem to yourself when you do it. So we're going to take some time with this. First, I want to make a note. It says Lewis and his 3 friends went golfing. And so I'm going to jot down some notes off to the side just so I can refer to them. That means there's 4 total people. Lewis and his 3 friends. There's 4 people. That helps me out. It says 2 of the friends rented clubs for $6 each. And the total cost of the rented clubs, which only 2 people rented the clubs. So this total cost, I'm going to write an equation to kind of represent that. Your total cost is the cost of renting clubs. So we have the club rental and the green fees. That is the total cost. Well, the only people that rented clubs were 2 of the friends. So 2 people spent $6 each. And so the club rental would be, okay, it costs $6 each for 2 people, so 2 times 6. It would be 12. And that's kind of where reading the sentence, if you read it very quickly, the total cost of rented clubs and green fees for each person, you may think, well, that means each person rents clubs, but you're told in this sentence above, only 2 people rented clubs. So the rest is the green fees. Well, we don't know what the green fees are. We're even asked, what was the cost of the green fees? That tells us what our variable is. So if you ever want to know what you need to make your variable, majority of the time, if you look at the question and what you're trying to find, it tells you what your variable is. And so I'm going to let X be the cost of green fees. So how much are the green fees for each person? Well, just like before, we had 2 people that rented clubs for $6 each. So we're going to have 4 people with green fees, so 4x. So I have my 2 times 6, which is 12, plus 4x is equal to my total cost. And my total cost was 76. It was already defined for me. And because I'm very, very, very picky, when I write my equations, I like it to be looking nicer in standard form. So I'm just going to rewrite it. 4x plus 12 equals 76. Just looks nicer with the variable on the left side written in standard form. Now I would solve. So I would subtract 12 and I would get 4x equals 64. Divide by 4x, you would get here is 16. You don't write down x equals 16 because the problem says what were the green fees for each person. And our cost of green fees, this is based off of for each person. Because we did, and the reason we know it's for each person is we did 4 times x. We took the number of people in consideration in our equation. So what's our answer? Our answer is the green fees are $16 per person. And now we have our answer. So again, always be familiar with units, with labels, and how to set up the problem. Don't just dive into an equation and go from there. Read it, interpret it, and apply it to be able to solve.